Hey guys, so at the end of the last video, you may have seen that something came loose in one of my pots.
Happy. Oh my gosh, this is so loose. Oh no.
This single bulb with two growths broke off my Cattleya lobata. Yes, Cattleya lobata var cerulean. Luckily, the main plant still has one growth, so this is not a fully mature growth. And you can see here where it broke off. And what I think happened, so this is a plant that I got from my Orchid Society auction. The main plant, I think, was a division, and I think through the division process, this got cut or got knocked loose. That's why it has two growths coming out, like it hasn't been connected to the main plant for a while. But this presents a problem because we got one bulb that's not fully mature. Like this leaf hasn't opened, so it's not fully mature. You can see there is kind of a bulby thing. And two growths. I'm gonna have to break off one of these growths. And it makes me so sad. Also, I'm in my house because it's cold outside. And you can see here I have two paths. I got this new Paphiopedilum here. You can see I have some Phalaenopsis. So, orchids everywhere. I'll show you guys this. It makes me sad, but I went to a wedding and they had cut orchids everywhere. And not just Phalaenopsis, they had cut Vandas. And I was like, what? Oh, speaking of a Vanda, I mean, I'm in the house, I might as well show you. Hold on. Okay, so check it out. Here's my Vanda. This thing has grown like these really massive roots. There's one down there and one over here. Just huge fat roots. But look at this thing. It's in spike again. And I never cut off this old one. So I would call this plant vigorous. I think what I'm going to do though, to make it more manageable, I'm going to unpot it and put it into a basket. And so I can hang it in the greenhouse. Because this is just, this just isn't going to work for much longer. Anyways, just wanted to show you guys that. All right, there's no more avoiding it. I need to cut this growth off. I'm giving you two angles so you can really see what I'm doing. I have to choose which one of these to cut off. And the reason I have to cut one off is because this plant is in a really weakened state, right? It doesn't have a fully mature pseudobulb, and it probably doesn't have energy to grow both of these well. And you can see on this one that there is a small root coming out. And maybe you can see on this one that there is like kind of a root that sort of died. And also this growth has some damage on it. And this one looks pretty clean. So I think this is the growth that has to go. So what I'm gonna do is break it off, and then I have here, I have some cinnamon and a Q-tip. And what I'll do is just break it off, and then I'm going to use Wade's method to pot it in a clay pot with packing peanuts and sphagnum moss. I have lots of things here to stabilize it. Oh, I didn't bring my other stuff. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to move this over for this part. I have a knife. Sprayed it. Okay, there it is. I cut too much. So now I have the removed growth and this wound. And this will do two things from what I understand. Cinnamon is really good at drying out the wound, and it has some possible antifungal properties. Now, I may have just screwed up and got cinnamon on this root, which would be really bad. Because like I just said, it dries things out really well. I'm actually gonna rinse this. Okay, so here we have the finished product. You can see I staked it a lot, and I really wanted to support this leaf so that it doesn't, tip over. And you can see there, it's not touching that stake, but I have it just sitting, the growth just sitting above the moss, and the little root is just touching the moss. And now we just have to hope that this does well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll keep you updated.